Our first sit and talk FAQ. Question is, I am starting a Tyranid army or have just started a Tyranid army. What do you suggest that I collect? Well, my answer to that would be, well, first off, I suggest you collect everything, because that's what I do when I collect. I like to collect all the models from every army. I'm a collector. When you look at the various aspects of the hobby, there's the collecting of the hobby, there's the assembling and converting. A lot of people get into the conversion stuff. There's scratch building, so they like to build their own models from scratch, or at least from a variety of their own parts and parts that Games Workshop or the other companies supply. And there's the painting aspect that a lot of people get into. And of course there's the competitive plane of the game, and then there's the narrative plane of the game as well. So there's all these different things that you can really be into, and you don't have to be into all of them in order to enjoy it. I myself am into collecting, not assembling and painting and converting, or scratch building, basically all of the hands-on stuff. And I love playing, whether it's competitive or narrative, although narrative is by far my favorite. But I'm a collector, so I have to have everything in the army, even if it's not competitive. But if you're starting out an army, you need to kind of mix something that you want to collect and something that's competitive enough, because if you only have 1,000 points of an army, it needs to be competitive, otherwise it's not going to be that fun to play. And I always start competitive and then I branch out from there. So Tyranids, a good way to be competitive in a small army is if you're looking for Battle Forge and you're using a combined armed detachment, then you use a Tyranid Prime as your HQ, and you bring a couple squads of warriors, preferably with bone swords and death spitters, and then you buy a bunch of Hormagaunts and Termagants. And then I would suggest tossing in a Tervagon in there, either as a troop choice with 30 Termagants or as another HQ. And then to support that, you need some elites. So a good starting elite choice is the Hive Guard or the Venomthropes, or both, depending on your budget. But Hive Guard and Venomthropes are really good to support. Venomthropes help support by giving Shrouded. Hive Guard helps support by kind of taking out that light to medium armor. And then fast attack you can kind of leave alone. There are some cool things in there, like the Harpies and Hive Crones and Raveners and Gargoyles. Those are all good. And if you want to get any of those, of course, you can buy whatever you want. But if you're looking just to create competitive at first, I'd go to the heavy support slot and definitely get a set of Biovores, 3 Biovores. And then either, this is where you kind of have a choice. You can do like Carnifexes because they're really effective, or you could do a Trigon Prime, or you could do a Tyrannifex. So I choose one of those 3. A brood of Carnifexes, between 1 and 3 Carnifexes. Your budget, once again, deciding how many. And then, or a Tyrannifex, or a Trigon Prime. Specifically Trigon Prime. The Tyrannifex would be the one with the acid spray. It's just the most effective out of all of them for most of the things that you're going to face. And that would be how to start your Tyranid army.